Well, there it is. We're live. We just did the old Chicken Lake Challenge.
Yeah.
How you feel?
Feel rough.
Should we reveal the winner now, or should we reveal the winner in like a IG post?
I'll leave that up to you. The old choice.
Should we remind everybody what the workout was?
Yeah, so the workout was 20 minutes. So whoever gets the most air squats with 20-pound vest in 20 minutes. But the catch is at the start of each minute, you got to do 5 push-ups.
Which I really thought that was going to be the deciding factor.
Push-ups?
Yeah, clearly because I'm just bigger than you.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought maybe that would be what would separate us, is you'd have a hard time pushing yourself up off the floor, and then whatever time I made up on the push-ups, we'd make it close on the squats.
Well, I do a lot of upper body day, obviously.
Sure.
A lot of bench press.
Yeah. Bicep curls. You are a firefighter, so
yeah.
Future curls.
Lots of 12-ounce curls. We'll good for the moms.
But anyway, the total's on the board there. I think what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it, and we'll leave it up to them to guess. One of us got 448. The other one got 358. So it's quite a disparaging number.
Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. I suppose you could probably cut that deficit down on average by years and age, if you wanted to do it that way.
Good.
But I'm not going to feel good later.
No.
I had to walk down the stairs just a little bit ago. It was trouble.
I think it's going to be a rough drive home for me.
It was trouble.
Feeling stiff already.
But I'm glad we got it off the books, and we only came up with it in May, for Christ's sakes, and now it's April. I gave you a whole year to train for this thing, basically.
Yeah, I've been putting it off.
Yeah, if anybody had the advantage in this workout, it was you.
I don't know about that.
Right?
But I think you got a little bit more warm-up time than I did.
Only because you texted me at 6 o'clock this morning and said I'll be there at 9, and that's basically when I started warming up. 6:30.
Oh gosh, crawl out of bed.
It takes a long time anymore, man. It's the engine still runs good, man, but it just takes a little bit to get warmed up is all.
I'm starting to get to that point of needing to warm up more before I work out. I'm not quite 19 anymore, so I can't just jump into it as
Yeah, sure.
What
are you, 25?
28.
Oh, well, shit, you're old then.
Getting up there.
Yeah, I was
Closer
like,
to
man,
30.
I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt with you being 25.
No.
Let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this thing then. You're a 28-year-old firefighter from Ankeny, and that in itself, let's talk about that in itself first, the career. Right out of high school?
Yeah, pretty much. I grew up around it, so my dad was a volunteer firefighter EMT, so I mean, from the time I was a little kid, I was around the station, so I kind of got exposed to it that way. And then Knoxville actually had a program when you're in high school. Once you turn 16, you get on as a volunteer cadet, so I kind of started doing it that way. And then graduated high school early, semester early, went through EMT, got my firefighter 1, and started working part-time in Knoxville. So yeah, basically since the time I was 16, 18 years old.
No kidding.
Yeah.
When did you get on to Ankeny?
December of 2018, so coming up on 7 years, 6.5, maybe 7 years.
So literally right out of, like, just turned 21 and got a firefighter job.
Had my paramedic maybe a year at that point. I got on there.
Is that the first and only full-time job?
No. So actually when I was going through medic school, I worked for Knoxville and Altoona part-time. And then right out of school, I knew I wanted to be a full-time firefighter, but jobs were extremely competitive. Like, they're tough to come by at that time. So
yeah.
Everyone I'd ever worked with said, if you want to be a good medic, go work at a county hospital. So I kind of took that advice. Yeah. And then a position opened up right away at Haska Health.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I took a full-time job there. I was there for just shy of a year before I got a full-time offer up in Ankeny. But yeah, I mean, I basically got that job the month I got out or finished my medic.
Packed a lot in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I stayed pretty busy, but I mean, I was young and had nothing else to do. So I mean,
when did you get married?
I got married in September of 2021, so it'll be 4 years this year.
So only 4 years married in the profession. When you went from, first of all, let's talk about the culture in the firehouse when you're that young and you walk into a full-time job. Mm-hmm. Were there some hurdles?
Being young, sure. I mean, historically, I've always kind of been, there's always been a lot of younger guys around for the most part, but I've also, like, there's always been a lot of senior guys too. So I was used to being around senior guys, so to speak, or whatever, you know, they give you a hard time and bust your balls a little bit. And you kind of like, you can tell like when they're joking and when they're kind of getting on you to like, if you need to fix something. But I mean, you just kind of get used to it over time. Like, I think you definitely have to have thick skin at times to deal with it. But Ankeny was pretty young for the most part. I mean, they're like, so they're senior guys, but there was a lot of young guys there too. So I didn't feel like there was a huge culture shock going into
It's
it.
getting bigger, man. Like
It
every
is,
time,
yeah.
it's like
And I
my
mean,
least favorite place to visit. No offense.
yes, traffic sucks. Yeah, I live there and I hate the traffic.
It's like literally 20 miles from my house. It takes an hour to get there.
It's horrible.
It's just not a good, but
No.
obviously growing.
Mhm.
So 24/48.
Yep.
When you got in, when you were single, how did you adjust to that? It's
It was,
presumably pretty good. It's a loaded question. Like
Yeah.
most young people adjust pretty well.
might be a backwards answer, but it was kind of easier just because I was in Mahaska, it was a weekend package. So I lived there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, would get off, and then I'd go work my 4 days off part-time between Altoona and Knoxville. So I was pretty jam-packed with the schedule. But then once I switched to Ankeny and got that 24/48 rotations, consistent days off, it's a more consistent schedule, and I felt like I was working less hours.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more stability with it at that point.
With your 24/48.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You felt like you recovered well?
Yeah, I feel like I still do, but definitely not as much as when I first started. I feel like,
Do you take more care now in recovering?
absolutely.
And we'll get to this in a second, but your life has gotten more complicated, right? Now so you got married, and we'll talk about the next one here in a second. But what have you learned about your recovery in a short, you're very young. And so I feel like a lot of people in our profession, it's kind of a late bloomer profession, right? So people get into this about 25, 27, 30 years old, it seems like, never really right out of the chute like you did. So you had a long time to learn some lessons. How is your recovery different now than when it was when you first started? Or is it?
It's definitely a lot different. When I was younger, I guess I'm still young, but when I was first starting out, if you were up all night, which is pretty common, I would go home and I just, get caffeinated up and just power through the day, like not the greatest eating habits, like eating junk food or whatnot.
Sure. But
now it's kind of like, if you're going to do this long term, 30 years at max or relatively, you're going to burn yourself out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Or you're going to run into long-term health complications, I feel like. So now it's definitely a lot more organized. I don't try if I'm tired, I'll get a nap and I'll take care, get my sleep. I'm going to bed early before shift, trying not to eat as much shit food.
That whole eating shit food is scientific, though. You know that,
It
right?
is.
Like when you're sleep deprived, how your leptin and all that kind of stuff, like your satiating hormone goes down, and your whatever that hormone is that makes you hungry goes up. So you sit there and you just binge on carbs and shit, and it's really kind of hard to. I didn't realize how biological that was until you're finding yourself at the pantry just shoving shit in your face. Does your department promote health and recovery, or do you guys talk about it? Is this something that's an individual thing? Like,
it's encouraged, but I would say it's more left up to the individual. Like obviously we have gyms there. It's an expectation to work out on shift and that kind of thing. But as far as dieting and that stuff goes, I think there's some people that kind of do their own dieting.
Yeah, sure.
And then I kind of fall into the trap of we eat as a crew, and we try to be mindful for the most part, but there's definitely days where we're doing deep fried tenderloins and that kind of stuff that you fall into. But overall, there's not really, it's kind of individual for the most part as far as taking care of yourself goes.
You see a difference in, some people take it to one extreme and some people don't. Like, do you guys have to work out on duty?
So there's nothing that requires you to, but it's kind of written through policy. It's highly encouraged.
Yeah, sure. And it makes sense, right?
Most people are pretty good about it. You get the occasional person that just, on one end of the spectrum and they don't care for it. But
so you're on 24/48, you're single, you meet your now wife, and you get married.
Yep.
How did that change your out of station habits? Or did it?
Didn't really. We were together when I was going through medic school. So she was kind of used to me being gone quite a bit when we were dating. I think she'd say the same thing when I got to that 24/48 rotation. She saw me a lot more, got more time at home with her.
Sure.
But I think still if you ask her today, she hates me being gone for 24 hours at a time. Hold the house down now, especially now with the life changes. But I think you get used to it over time, adapt to it.
And you both have to adapt to it, right? It's not just you adapting to it. It's you both have to adapt to it. I look back when I was a young married person, and I did it wrong a lot. My identity was hung up on where I worked and who I worked with and what I did, and not that I was a husband and a dad. And I learned a lot of lessons, some of which we can talk about, all of which we can talk about. I don't really care. Was there ever any, obviously when you get married, there's a bigger demand on your time.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost like a selfish demand. Like you've been gone, now it's me time.
Yep.
It's you either need to with me or I get to go do that. Was there any of that type of trying to figure out each other's tolerances now versus how much time you can give each other?
Not really.
And still recover?
Yeah, so I mean, we're pretty good about planning out stuff. She knows that usually my first day off, I like to come home, just kind of chill out and decompress for the first few hours, whether it's get a nap in or if I got a decent amount of sleep the night before, just drink coffee and watch the news or something. But I mean, other than that, she works from home for the most part, so we see each other quite a bit on her or on my days off when she's at work. I mean, she gets periods in between meetings and stuff online. We'll see each other and catch up, but we're pretty good about when we're both off, like we completely disconnect from work and we don't talk about work and
good.
We just hang out with each other and we go out to eat or find stuff to do.
Oh man, when you learn that young in your relationship, that's a big hack.
Yeah.
If you can give each other the time that you need.
I feel like it's easy to let work consume you on your days off too. I think I fell into that a little bit, but like, you're constantly talking about or complaining about things from work or think about the 24/48, you only spend a third of it of your life there. Yep.
But it's such a big part of your life.
It is.
Right? Like I find that too. We associate with most people from work, like that's our circle. So what's that generally lead to conversation wise? Well, work shit. Well, on my day off, I don't want to talk about work shit sometimes. Yeah. Well, sometimes you need to, obviously, like if you're trying to help somebody through a tough call or whatever, you need to do that. But the politics and the policies and all that kind of stuff always seems to come up in conversation. It drives me insane. But at the same time, I look back at it and I'm like, well, most of the people that I associate with are work people.
Yeah. It can be hard to avoid at times, just a separation from it. But I think it's necessary. I don't think it's healthy to be connected to work all the time. And
absolutely not. No, I'm really
talking about it.
Really try hard to talk about cool stuff.
Yeah.
But it gets harder and harder as you get older, I think, because I don't know what your social circle's like, but ours is pretty small, only because kids consume a lot of that. And I think my job took a lot of that away.
Sure.
Because I was always tired and in a mood or whatever, and I never really wanted to socialize with people. And that handicapped my wife, obviously, a little bit because she's very social. Yeah. It makes it tough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your circle gets smaller, and then all of a sudden you're sitting around one day and begging to talk to somebody about work. Enter the baby. Yep. You're a dad.
Yep.
And she is 4 months old.
4 months old now, yeah.
Man, that's cool.
I'm up on 5, yeah. So
that's cool.
It's been a whirlwind.
Let's talk about the obvious. How did that change your days off?
It was a huge change. I went from being, also I was picking up AirMed part-time that night or that day or something. Yeah, I could come home and, I got my non-negotiable stuff like working out every day, but I could always come home, procrastinate. If I needed to sleep, I could sleep, get some food or do whatever I needed to do and kind of, just kind of go about it, kind of lax a little bit.
Sure.
But having the kid now, you have to be a little bit more intentional with your time, I feel like. Obviously, the kid's a big commitment and takes up a lot of time. So it's like, for me, like I said, non-negotiable stuff's working out. So I have to really prioritize that now, or that's getting up earlier, or just eliminating like stuff that sidetracks me or whatever. But I just know that for me, in order for me to get certain stuff done, I have to get up earlier, kind of work around that. So it's definitely kind of a time hindrance.
That's usually the hack.
Yeah.
And it's not selfish to get time for yourself. Like working out, you need it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you need it. Some sort of peace, some sort of levity, some sort of time in the morning, whether that's a workout or a drink coffee by the window or whatever. Like everybody needs that, I think. And it's not selfish to think. I used to get real, how do I want to put this? Protective of that.
Yep.
Like to almost to a fault. Mm-hmm. And then you just got to realize like part of doing that at home, part of having a home gym, part of having these things is that you're going to get interrupted, right? Like the kids are going to come out and walk right through your, whatever it is you're doing, and they're going to get all their stuff out and it's going to be in your way. And my big thing was it just used to annoy me to a fault. It was like, because this is my time. Yep. Just give me an hour of uninterrupted because we do this for a living, right? We get interrupted for a living. It's not to say that we're not there for a purpose, but how many times you're trying to do something around the station, whether it's get a workout in, clean the station, eat some food, whatever, and the tones go off. Okay, that's what we're there for. But psychologically, it's an interruption. And to me, when I came home, I had to have none of that because that's what my job did. So if I came home and felt like I was interrupted, I was always so frustrated. And to be honest, probably sometimes still. But like today, we did the workout. If we would have done this 10 years ago and one of my kids would have came out here and just effed around, I would have been so pissed. But now it's just like, it's what we do. It's my life, right? Like, I'd rather them come out and interrupt me and see me working out than hide in the house until dad comes inside, right? So the point of that is that it's important to give you whatever you need, because then you show up better later, in my opinion. If you get that time to do it, it's not selfish. It's not leave me alone. It's going to make me better down the road. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So keep taking it as much as you can do. Yeah. How did it adjust your sleep at home?
I feel like I've kind of had it easy. She's been sleeping through the night for the most part since 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
She every once in a while she'll wake up overnight, but that's few and far between. So I mean, I'm getting a full night's rest. If I do my part, I'm going to bed on time. I get a good night's rest. But it still feels like most days you're exhausted or drained by the end of the day, because it feels like from the time, if I get up at 5 a.m. to get my workout in.
Constantly running, man.
Yeah, you feel like you're just running a rat race day in and day out. And it's almost times where it's like going to work for 24 hours a time.
There's a break.
A little bit of a break. That might make me sound like a shitty parent, but
no, it's not.
It's a good mental break.
There's some mental exhaustion that goes on too, right? Like, I don't know how to articulate it, but there were a bunch of days back in my day where I would go to work for just to get a break from managing kids. Yeah. And that was the easy part of life, right? Going to the station, running some ambulance calls, getting a crappy night's sleep and coming home and you're like, man, that was easy. And then you come home to a bunch of kids and you're just like, I don't know what's going on here. I still feel that way sometimes and we have a lot of time off now, so I get bored. But the sleep thing was always what got me. Is I lose a night of sleep for my job. Like, my living requires me to lose a night of sleep every third day. Man, I hated losing a night of sleep at home. It just didn't seem right. But at the same time, my wife was losing a night of sleep basically every night, it seemed like. So it was tough to find that balance. Yeah. If I wasn't willing to try to find that balance, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. How's your wife adjusted to it?
She's doing pretty good. I think she definitely has it harder than I do. I mean, 'cause she's there 24/7 with the kid. Yeah. But I mean, she's a rock star. I mean, she worked in a baby room at a daycare when she was in high school, so she's kind of been my guide to this whole thing.
Oh, sure.
Like changing diapers and stuff.
We had to start back up because my phone rang, and it cuts the podcast off when my phone rings, I guess. But anyway, what were we talking about? So none of that stuff we're supposed to know, right? And I know that there's a big push, or at least people will deny my claim that men are really not supposed to be real savvy when it comes to taking care of kids, right? Like, it's just not in our DNA. And I will die on that hill. This doesn't mean we can't get good at it. It doesn't mean we can't adapt to it. But it certainly doesn't come naturally, does it?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so either.
Curve.
Yeah, like even me. Yeah. How I parent my kids, I felt should have been pretty linear. That's not. It's individual. Mm-hmm. Like, each kid is different. Yeah. I feel like even though the concepts are the same, you have to present it, or at least talk to kids in a different way. Even in the same family, there's a lot of that whole nurture thing I'm not real great at. Yeah. But girls obviously soften a guy up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there was that whole phase where they were your daughter's age, where you just want to sit in a chair with them, and you can hold them all you want. And they don't, nothing, if you fall asleep with your kid or whatever, when they still want to snuggle you, and then they get old and they don't want to snuggle you at all, you're just like, come on, like, where'd that go? You know what I mean?
While I can, while he's still in that stage.
Yeah, because I've got him from 18, 17, 14, and 8, And even today, like, I'm outnumbered. It's all of them against me. But as they get older, like, only a few of them need entertained now. Like, I can chase that 8-year-old around all day long, man. I'm exhausted by the end of the day. Like, and I don't even understand what happened. Yeah. At least in the toddler stage, or at least in the infant stage, you put them down, you come back, they're still there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I used to get a lot of my workouts done at nap time.
Absolutely.
when they leave and when they don't, so when they stop napping, that's the worst time ever. Because you used to get 2 naps a day. Who's this? They used to take 2 naps a day.
Yeah.
Now they don't.
Yeah.
None of them do. Not one nap. You know who else doesn't nap?
You.
This guy.
Yeah.
Haven't napped in 12 years. But what's your daily day off like? Does your daughter go to daycare all the time?
So she goes daycare part-time. So Monday through Wednesday she goes. Thursday, Friday, when I'm non-shift, it's daddy daycare. So at least on, like, for instance, today I dropped her off this morning and I'll pick her back up 4 or 5 o'clock. So I get the day to get stuff done, any errands, anything around the house I need to get done. But if I don't have anything going on Monday through Wednesday and she goes to daycare, I'll kind of use that as time. Like, if I need to get caught up on sleep, I can get caught up on sleep, or just kind of chill out and have my little time to decompress or whatever from shift. Yeah. Otherwise, on Thursdays or Fridays, I have her. It's get up about 5 a.m., kind of get some coffee, get woke up, stretch, work out, and she's usually up by 7:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then start the daddy daycare process, feed, change her, hang out with her, and that'll last till about 11 noon. She'll go down for a 2-3 hour nap, and
yeah, buddy,
it's my time to collect myself again, and then it's back onto the evening half. Yeah,
man, I remember those days.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's structured, so she's
it's not. It wasn't terrible. Like I said, when the infants, I mean, you put them down, they stay there for the most part. You know, you got to feed them and change them and put them down, and then you get to do your thing. Like that was I thought other than the constant worry of a child that small coming down with some sort of illness or whatever. Like I was kind of worried about that, but the general structure of the day was not terrible.
Yeah. Once you get into routine, it's a lot easier. I mean, I was definitely stressed out to start. I mean, everything's new to me at that point as far as the kid goes. So, but once we got the routine down and just kind of, what to expect day in and day out, and the kid gets the routine down, it just makes life so much simpler.
Yeah. Family close?
So I got family in Knoxville back home.
She doesn't though?
Her family's back home in Knoxville. I guess her dad.
Oh, you're both from Knoxville.
Yeah. Her dad lives in Ankeny now, so he's close. But my mom's not too far away. She's in Otley, which is kind of outside Pella.
Yeah, sure.
It's like a 45-minute drive or something like that.
So if you need a babysitter or something, she can.
Yeah, I mean, family's always willing to come up and hang out and stuff.
Yeah, everybody loves babies, man.
Absolutely, they're pretty supportive.
She got she's only 4 months old. Probably not got the ear pierced yet. Do you get the confusion when you take her uptown and they're like, "What's his name?"
No, none of that yet.
She's always in pink.
She always kind of got girly stuff on. Yeah, Kylie did a good job of
making sure.
Yeah, she got a lot of nice outfits picked out. I let her just kind of handle that, but she's all dolled up. And
there's so many contraptions now too.
There is.
Everything is outfitted with diaper hampers or diaper trash that's supposed to keep the smell in, and all these things. It's all new. We just got rid of Bittersweet, probably the jogging stroller we've had for probably, I don't know, 18 years maybe. Like that was kind of bittersweet. Mm-hmm. You kind of start hoarding all that stuff and keeping it all, but we've had kids that are so far apart in age that we probably got rid of it all once and then had to get it all back. But there's a lot. I look around now and I'm like there's a booster seat up there that we don't use anymore, so we're kind of getting out of that.
Yep.
But it's amazing how much stuff they'll collect. What's on the more kids, I assume?
Maybe.
Ooh.
We're kind of on the fence about it.
Really?
So we were on the fence about to begin with about having a second one. And then in the birth process, she had a little bit of a bleeding complication.
Oh.
So that was exciting. That was a real fun time.
Yeah.
So then she's pretty much high risk for any other births. So we were on the fence to begin with. So now we're kind of leaning towards maybe not. But
really,
we did talk about if we ever decided we wanted a second kid, we did talk about going the adoption route if that would ever be
really
an option. But
she, you tell me if I'm getting too personal, just doesn't want to go through or was there complications outside of that?
So leading up to it, she did not enjoy the whole being pregnant. She was pretty miserable. She had really bad morning sickness, really bad heartburn. She was just miserable the entire time.
Didn't take much.
No. And then I think there's a little bit of PTSD on her side from the whole bleeding aspect. I mean, she lost a lot of blood and there's a whole shebang that went on there. But I think
I don't blame a girl for that at all.
No, she's like, that's it for me. I'm like, I don't blame you one bit.
No, I don't blame one bit either.
There's kind of the point where it's like, well, if we ever decided we did want a second one, I mean, we're open to the idea of adopting if it got to that point. But
yeah, good for you guys.
I think we're done as far as biological kids goes.
Yeah. Well, at least you know.
Yeah.
It's too bad it happened, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it all worked out. So
yeah, you're happy with. I mean, turned out.
Yeah, worked out well.
Everybody's healthy and happy, and no long-term effects.
Nope.
Moving forward, where do you see your career going?
I don't know. Staying pretty busy between Ankeny and AirMed. On a promotional list for Ankeny, so it sounds like once Station 4 opens up at the end of this year, there's a good chance I'll promote up to engineer. So that's fun and exciting. But as far as that goes, just keep working Ankeny and keep striving there at AirMed, working away.
You started very young. What's a lesson you've learned already in EMS or station life or just this lifestyle that you lead?
I was really hard up into working as much overtime as possible when I first started. So, I mean, any overtime that came out, I was just picking up. And it's not like the money was great, having the extra money, but I didn't need the money. And I was just working to work, I feel like. So it definitely got to the point where you're burning yourself out really fast. So my advice would be to anyone that is getting into it, whether you're younger or older, starting out, is just pace yourself.
Totally.
It's some of the best advice I got was this job's a marathon, not a sprint. If you try to sprint your way through 30 years, you're going to be a miserable person. You're not going to make it. So you really need to balance everything, balance work, balance, how much overtime you're working with, how much time you're spending at home. That'd probably be the best thing I could give.
It's amazing that you learned it at such a young age, because it takes a lot of us so much longer to learn it. Like, you just don't know until you don't know, because you look at your schedule and you're like, I got 2 days off. I could pick up a part-time job and I could work. So, it'd be good to work somewhere else that offers maybe a different type of EMS or a different type of station life or whatever, just to kind of get that experience. If you're in suburban EMS and you take a part-time job in rural EMS, that's totally different. And then you just kind of get sucked into it where you're like, man, every day you're either getting up to go somewhere or getting up to leave somewhere. And then pretty soon, 8 or 10 years have gone by and you're just a shell. Like, you don't realize, even if you stay 24 hours in the station and don't run a call, how much different you feel than if you just stay 24 hours in your own house, run errands, sleep in your own bed, that kind of stuff. Like,
it can drain on you.
After a long time, it's tough.
It is. And I think that's the point I was getting at. I left Altoona part-time. It was kind of over having the part-time job. Like, I just want one job to slow down. Like, I don't need the money. And had the agreement with my wife, I'm not getting any more part-time jobs. I'm done. And then the AirMed posting came out. I'm like, well, I mean, it's not about the money at this point. It's the experience. It's the experience. Yeah. So
there was one year I worked so much that I couldn't believe my W-2. Like, I made so much money, but it was probably the worst year of my life. Like, physically and mentally and emotionally and as a husband. And I had all kinds of money and never had any time to spend it. And now it's the opposite. Like, I got zero money and I got all the time in the world to spend it, but I just don't have the money to spend. So it's a trade-off. There's a lot of people in our job that work real hard and they're always motivated or driven because they're going on a trip or saving up for this. And I always applaud those people. But I think when you burn yourself out early, it's hard to recover later in your life.
Absolutely.
When you need that extra job or you need to just pick up an extra day here or there, it's almost like it's a daunting task. Like, I don't want to go through all those feelings again, So balance early. But man, it's shiny out there, isn't it? When you just get on somewhere and you're like, hey, you should come work here part-time. Okay.
You got to keep your IPers going. You got to keep, in conjunction with the 411. Everyone says, yeah, keep it going. And it's like, okay, whatever. I mean,
now, and then, what you don't take into consideration is the commute time. The part-time job training requirements, the part-time job meeting requirements, on top of your full-time job training requirements, meeting requirements, commute time. Like, it just all, I think, wears on you. If you could change anything about EMS right now, what would you change?
Oh, I think a lot of people might disagree with it, but I'm also of the opinion where I think EMS should almost be a degree requirement. I think just because
some departments have that.
They do. And I just feel like,
and there is a degree in EMS, right?
You can get a degree, but my opinion is it's like nursing. If you want to be a nurse, you go through 2 years to get your RN. And I just feel like at times where EMS, we haven't necessarily advocated well for ourselves. I mean, you look at the pay discrepancies between nurse and medic at times.
I think we totally did that to ourselves. And that started long before you and I came around. Like, it just is what it is. It just hasn't evolved well with the time. We can consider it a trade, and I'm happy to consider what we do a trade profession. Absolutely. I think that's accurate to say. But there's a lot of if you look at rural counties who have EMS, I mean, let's say you get some hotshot with a degree and they, want to come up for $35 an hour. Yep. They can't support that. Yep. So they support volunteers for $2 an hour on call pay. That's all they can do. Right. Yep. And there's some departments that a degree, like in West Des Moines, you have to have an associate's degree to get. I don't know what that proves, other than you were willing to do something that probably most people weren't, which was stay on task for 2 years to acquire something.
I guess from the standpoint I'm coming from, just more like I think we've all seen. You get the people that come in, their shirts untucked, and they kind of look like crap. Just I think you kind of weed out the people that are less professional.
Sure.
I mean, you like I. Yeah, I'll know that, yes, EMS is hurting for staffing. And if you put a degree requirement on stuff, maybe that would make it a little tougher. You might not get the numbers, but I feel like the quality you would get out, that you'd weed out some of the people that
that's fair.
Aren't really.
Well, you said earlier that getting on Ankeny Fire Department or any fire department was tough. The competition was high. Is it different now?
It's a lot easier. It is? I worked hard I was 22 when I got my offer from there. So, I mean, I put in a lot of hard work for 4 years up to that point. There's a lot of times you're applying places and you have a couple dozen people applying for 1 or 2 jobs.
Back then or now?
Back then.
Back then.
Yeah, so it was extremely tough. You really had to find ways to, everyone came out and everyone had a fire science degree and their paramedics. You really had to find other ways to set yourself apart. But now it's, places are expanding so much. They're trying to hire tons at a time, where it just kind of seems like come in with a paramedic and fire one cert and you're getting hired.
Sure.
But
how do you feel about your schedule? Would you change your schedule? Is there anything you would do different in the fire service as far as that goes?
24/48 is not bad. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, but overall, I would say that if you could give me any schedule, I'd probably say something like a 24/72 would be pretty nice.
Heard a lot about that. That seems like a good way to go.
It is. Obviously, most cities aren't going to get on board with that because you're hiring a whole nother shift, and now they're paying you. I understand the city's point of view on that, but those aside, I would say 24/72 would be nice. But some people want to do a 48/96, and
man, that's tough.
I think so. I think it's, like I said, it'd be just like a 24/48. There's pros and cons to it. At least from the 24/48 standpoint, you get the pro of, yes, I'm gone for 24 hours, but I also get 2 straight days off to dedicate back home to the family if I decide not to pick up overtime. But on the flip side, you're also gone for 24 hours. So inevitably you're going to miss some of your kids' events. You're going to miss family time.
Holidays, weekends.
Holidays is a big one. And then even then you get your butt kicked all night, come home, and now you're drained and you still have to play dad.
Your first day sucks.
First day off sucks.
Then your second day off is kind of normal, but then all of a sudden, bam, you're right back at it on that third day, which is kind of what got me. Was that grind was the first day just sucks. And the second day was reasonable, but man, that third day, now you're just right back into the grind again.
First day always feels like the entire first 24 hours, you're feeling like I'm just getting off work, kind of getting away from work. And then you wake up on that second day and like your whole mentality is now I'm getting processed to go back to work.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're just trying to come down from your shift on the first day, and now you're trying to get your meal prepping and your uniform washed and pressed, and your clothes packed, and you're right back in it again, getting ready to go to work. That's a good point. I always like the idea of a 72 off, because it gives you that third. If you're going to burn a day, you burn that first day.
Yeah.
Second day, you're starting to feel like a reasonable human, and you can get some things done. And that third day, man, is a freebie. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then let's get back to work.
Yep.
You've had just about enough time off where I've got enough accomplished and I feel good. I'm ready to go back to my job.
Yep.
Where that second day, the 24/48s, it just always seemed to come too fast.
Yeah.
Like it's like I just kind of got in a groove.
Yep.
And now I got to leave again for 24 hours, which over time, as I got older, I found just kind of got longer.
Yeah.
That 24-hour shift seemed to be fine. But as I got older, it just seemed to be a longer and longer and longer. So it's staying at your job at 48 hours, I think would be awful. So
I don't deal much with, most shifts seem like they go by pretty quick. My station's pretty busy, so you run a lot of calls. So, that makes time go by quick, but we also have a good shift. So, you're always hanging out with the guys, and that makes time go by fast. So, but if you get a slow station, that can absolutely drag on for sure.
Oh, especially if you don't have you're itching for a call or itching for something.
Yeah.
Or worse, you've sat there all day and haven't gone anywhere, and now you're trying to go to bed.
Yep. And then
you just know it's going to happen, right? That's a mind.
Yep.
That's a psychological screw job is what that
You're
is.
just
It
waiting up all
hurts.
night for it to come.
Yeah. I was going to ask you something else too. The schedule. Would you ever consider like going off 24s?
Uh, it sounds nice, and there's times I'm like, man, like 9 to 5 job would be kind of cool. But then I go to
No, it's not.
you go to the grocery store on a Saturday morning and you see all the people, and they're like, nah, I'll keep my 24/48s. I'll go to the store at Tuesday at 9 a.m. when everyone else is at work.
Yeah, I don't really like my 24s anymore, but you know what's worse? Working 3 days a week.
That sucks.
And you're right,
Yep.
because you just, I couldn't imagine 3 12s,
Yeah.
3-day shift 12s even. Well, that might not be so bad, but I mean, if you were like a training officer or administrator or something where you
sure.
have to go to work every day, that would.
I think it just depends. I mean, I don't think I'd want to take a 40-hour position or anything like that. But if I did, it would have to be something that really interests me. It would be pretty lucrative, I think. It'd have to be something that really draw me to it. But for the most part, I think I'm, as bad as the downsides are of the 24/48s, I don't think I'd want to switch right now.
No, there's no chance. I've done this too long to even consider a normal job, quote, normal job, whatever that is. I can't. Even the 24s, I will take that hands down versus what is today? Monday? And here we are kicking it in my garage.
Exactly. Yeah.
After doing a brutal workout and just shooting the shit, because if we had real jobs, this wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Or you would have to try to figure out how to work it around all your kid stuff at night. Like, I don't understand how people, and for those that are listening that have those real jobs, like you work 5 days a week and then you hurry up and try to get all your shit done that you want to get done around the house on Saturday, and you have one day to relax on Sunday, and then all of a sudden it's back for 5 days again.
Well, I mean, even
I couldn't do it.
back when I was helping out with the academies and Inc. and you're on a 40-hour work week for that, so you're 8 to 4, and then you get off at 4 o'clock, and I'm exhausted by the end of that. You're doing all the drills and stuff. And at that point, it's like the realization that everyday people now, like, okay, now you have to pick your kid from daycare, now you have to go home and cook, run to the store, do all these extra things, and you're just doing this Monday through Friday. So on one end, it's kind of almost seems like the 24/48 is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
From the daily grind of just doing it 5 straight
I get the luxury of doing a lot of stuff around here, and I know that some people may not, but I mean, I can have my yard mowed, and then I just watch everybody in my neighborhood come home Friday night at 5 o'clock, and everybody's mowing their yard, trying to get their stuff done before, Saturday morning or whatever. And I've already got, all my work done.
Yep.
And we're just kicking it. And it's a really nice feeling.
It is.
I am almost a little put off by how many people are actually in my neighborhood anymore on my days off. That's starting to get... Things are starting to close in on me, I think, a little bit. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden there's a lot more people in my neighborhood anymore than there used to be. But I'll get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, what do you do?
Just move out of the country, I guess.
Exactly.
Who can afford to do that right now?
No one.
What else you got, man? Anything else?
Oh.
I'd be interested to hear down the road, like as your daughter gets older, how you guys are managing, T-ball and birthdays and holidays and stuff like that. Because it's all... I don't know that there's a right way or a wrong way, but when I look back they just kind of got used to dad being gone, and then, the downside of that is they get real attached to their mother, as they should be. I'm not denying that, but it was harder for me when I came home to kind of assert any sort of influence. It was like, well, who are you again? Like, you've been gone for 2 days, man, and now you're going to come and tell me to clean my room? Like, that was an interesting thing that I didn't ever really see happening. So like all the kids at some point had their phase where they were like just not interested in old dad.
Sure. Yeah.
But that comes and goes.
Yeah. Something I thought about and kind of navigate that when it comes time to cross that bridge.
Yeah, I would say that it shouldn't be unexpected. Like you're just gone a lot and it is what it is, right? Like I was happy that at least my wife at the time was around, to do those kind of things with those kids, and they were very entertainment oriented. Let's go out and do this. Let's go out and do that. And I was more of I just really want to go back to bed. Like I don't want to do anything.
I know what you mean.
But you figured it out.
Yeah.
Like it all works out the way it's supposed to. So good for you, man. Anything else?
Nothing I can think of.
All right. Well, if you haven't guessed who won the chicken leg challenge yet, I'll post it somehow, some way. And we'll put it on there maybe we'll do a poll and see if like the two people that ever participate in those, you'd be like, who do you think won, Colton or Jason? But anyway, the numbers were 358 to 448. And I'm going to tell you, that's a good old fashioned ass whooping. Like somebody got their ass whooped. And we'll let you know who it was. All right, man. That's it. Thanks for coming, man.
No, thanks for hosting it, man.
Yeah, no problem. Well, there goes my kid. All right. Work hard. Be kind.
Hey guys, thanks again for listening to another episode of the Shift Change podcast. I need to ask if you would leave a rating. I think that it helps people who are new to the podcast find it quicker. It doesn't do me any good, but it does help other people that are looking for the Shift Change podcast on Spotify or Apple. It just comes up quicker the more ratings that you give it. I don't whether you give it a 2 or a 5, it doesn't make a difference. It just helps other people. If you need to get a hold of me, contact me via my email, the show email, which is talkshiftchange@gmail.com. Or you can message me on Instagram at talk.shiftchange. Excuse me, at talk.shiftchange on Instagram. As always, thanks for listening. I could not have imagined um, how well this podcast has been received. So, as always, I appreciate it. Work hard, be kind.